Did anyone else have anything negative to say about the character Che, played by Che Diaz? Okay, looks like we got a Yahtzee.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 cringiest and just like that moments.
What are you doing? What was that in my kitchen? What is going on with you?
I don't know.
For this list, we're looking at characters, themes, and moments from the first 2 seasons of the Sex and the City revival that feel like nails on a chalkboard and make us want to hide our faces, cover our ears, or just reach for the remote to make it stop. We will be discussing plot points, so here is your spoiler warning. Narrowing it down sure was tough, so let us know which cringy and just like that moment you would add to our list. Number 20, the Milf list. Lisa and Charlotte are disturbingly excited to learn that a Milf list is being shared around their kids' school.
We're totally getting that list.
100%. Does someone have something to add? No?
They're even more delighted when they get their hands on it, and they're both in the top 3.
For the record, I do think it's wrong that in this day and age, women are still being judged solely for the...
Here it is. We're number 2 and 3.
If that doesn't already make you squirm, then check out their reaction when they see the kid behind it. Watching a group of middle-aged women swoon over the minor made us wonder how we would possibly make it through to the end of the episode.
Is that my low H for hot?
The pair also feigns outrage over the whole debacle, and questions whether something like this should really stain the student's academic record. Not only is this storyline troubling on moral and ethical grounds, it's also just really icky.
Isn't this an opportunity for us to demonstrate our commitment to restorative justice?
You're just saying that because you're 2 and 3 on the list.
Exactly.
Are we?
Come on, we all saw the list.
Number 19, the whole thing with Che's ex. In this episode, we meet Che's not ex-husband Lyle. Yup, you heard that correctly. The couple call themselves poly pioneers and are clearly still on good terms. Really good terms.
You said it was important for us to push our relationship boundaries, right? And if I was afraid to explore that, I wasn't for you. So I figured, well, happy life, happy wife.
In fact, they're so close that Che has no problem getting it on with Miranda, even with Lyle sleeping right beside them. He sees their intimacy as an invitation to get involved. While Miranda tries to engage in their world, she quickly learns that threesomes might not be for her.
My visceral reaction is no, but maybe that's just fear of the unknown because, how will I ever know unless I try it? We're all here. It's kind of hot.
It's getting less hot the more you talk.
Hardcore Sex and the City fans might recall that this isn't the only time Miranda backed out of a 3-way. Hey, however consenting adults choose to express intimacy is their business. But Miranda was clearly uncomfortable, and we felt that in abundance.
You know what, guys? This just isn't me. So just you should carry on. Seriously, I'm good with it.
Number 18, the writers clap back at the haters. Most of us will agree that some of the writers' choices throughout this series so far have been questionable, and more on those coming up. However, we want to address that focus group scene from Season 2, Episode 5 that almost felt like a dig at the critics.
The crying sends a signal that it's sad to be non-binary.
That is what I said. I knew the scene was too much, and I told him that. I told him that repeatedly. Repeatedly.
Everyone from the writers to the cast is aware that Che didn't make the best first impression. Yet the creators seemingly tried to shift the blame onto misunderstanding or closed-minded audiences rather than take the criticism on board.
The whole Che character was like a walking boomer joke that felt so fake to me. Just some phony, sanitized, performative, cheesy-ass dad joke.
In fact, it almost felt like they were trying to hold a mirror up to the Che haters with this focus group. We don't know if that was their intention, but it certainly felt pointed. Either way, it was bizarre.
Did anyone else have anything negative to say about the character Che, played by Che Diaz? Okay, looks like we got a Yahtzee.
Number 17, Carrie doesn't dial 911. Big suffers a fatal heart attack in an unexpected twist in the premiere episode. The lead up to the tragedy is dramatic to say the least, with Carrie calmly enjoying a music performance, unaware of the events unfolding back home. So when she finds Big slumped over in the bathroom, it takes her a beat to register the situation. She's so overwhelmed, shocked, and distraught that she has a major lapse in judgment.
John! Oh, God. Oh, God, John. Oh, John, honey. John, honey.
But as she cries over her dying husband, we couldn't help but repeatedly scream, "Call 911!" in the hopes that she would hear us through the screen. But the writers had already sealed Big's fate, so Carrie could start a new chapter of her life.
John. And just like that, Big died.
Number 16. Did you know everyone's older now? And just like that has been on the receiving end of much unfair ageist criticism. Almost as if some fans forgot that unlike the original series, the cast is no longer in their 30s or 40s.
I just think the gray ages you. No, you think the gray ages you. Because if we're friends and I'm this age, you can't be whatever age you're pretending to be.
I am not pretending to be any age. I am 55.
What, you want a medal?
Yes.
That being said, it really doesn't help that they like to remind audiences of this at any given opportunity.
We are thrilled that you found an archaeologist to saw your old carcass open and try to put those sanded down fossils inside you back together.
Anthony.
What? She laughed.
Did the writers just have a what do middle-aged women talk about brainstorm and select keywords? And also, how is it that some characters seem to have aged so much more than others? We commend the show for defying showbiz's youth-obsessed culture, but there's more to a person than how many trips they've had around the sun. Yeah, people age, we get it.
She wishes you were in her group. You're not, you're in my group. We're sophomores, not seniors.
Number 15, Brady and Luisa need separate cold showers. Remember sweet little Brady from Sex and the City? Well, he's not so sweet anymore. Now, he's an amalgamation of almost every awful teen character cliche the writers could think of. He's obnoxious, messy, and bratty.
Stop, you're embarrassing.
No, you have embarrassed yourself.
To cap it all off, no one's parents want to hear their kids having sex. His girlfriend Luisa is no better. She acts all entitled, and she's pretty rude to Miranda and Steve, too.
You know, whole milk is actually healthier than low fat, especially for aging bones.
Excuse me?
There's no way that this grounded couple could have raised such an unpleasant kid. There are just so many times you can play the raging hormones and teen rebellion card before it gets tiresome.
I'm not caffeinated enough for this conversation.
That being said, our hearts did go out to Brady after Luisa dumped him during their Europe trip.
Are you crying? Brady, what's wrong?
Luisa broke up with me.
What? Why?
I don't know, she just bolted to Florence, it's over.
Number 14, the forced introduction of new characters. The revival of Sex and the City promised to address some of the original's shortcomings. In fact, Cynthia Nixon told Elle that this was why she chose to return to the series.
I knew that you were Black when I signed up for this class. That was important to me.
And sure, there is more diversity on camera and among the writers, yet it lacks authenticity. Instead, the new characters feel like they exist to tick a box, making them hard to watch.
What up, sister, brother?
That's right, because I'm both and neither.
They're still just supporting players. And even when their stories are being told, it's from a white point of view. Things like this make us believe that this series should have stayed in the past, where it belongs. Number 13, Steve finally confronts Miranda. After Miranda cheated on Steve and ended their marriage, we felt like he deserved a more satisfying reckoning.
And it's always like this. You don't think that I'm enough, then I'm kind of enough, and then I'm not enough again.
And we thought he was finally about to get it in the season 2 episode Bomb Cyclone. During a disagreement over their living arrangements, Steve finally explodes.
My house! My house! You never wanted to come here to Brooklyn. You never wanted me. And you never even wanted Brady!
Sure, some of it was super harsh, but he had clearly harbored his resentment for a long time. However, as soon as she bursts into tears, somehow he's apologizing, and our eyes could not have rolled any harder.
I did nothing when I said about Brady. It's just you caught me off guard, okay? Listen, this isn't us. This is not who we are, okay? It is not who we are.
Later, she has the audacity to get annoyed at him after learning Steve has moved on. Hey, Miranda, you remember why your marriage broke up, right?
Well, you enjoy your locally sourced organic sex, and I'll start writing up the divorce papers. And don't worry about me. I will not be crying on the subway tonight.
Well, at least Che is there to make it all better. Oh, wait.
2 back-to-back breakups. I'm killing it over here.
Number 12, Miranda's beach cleanup kerfuffle. Miranda and some other members of her AA group join an environmentalist's beach cleanup effort. Sure, the beach looks cleaner, but Miranda ends up in quite a mess.
Naya, I can't talk now. I'm saving the planet. You're welcome.
She realizes she's lost her phone, and since her ride had to check out earlier, she's now stranded.
Oh my God. I lost my phone. Did anybody see a phone? Oh my God. I don't have my phone, and I needed to call Uber.
Eventually, she comes across a group of beachgoers who let her borrow a phone. Che's reaction to the SOS call left us wide-eyed. Trust them to make Miranda's lousy luck all about them.
Can you come and get me?
At the beach? It's rush hour. It'll take me like an hour and a half to get there. We have dinner with Tony Danza in an hour.
We so wanted to shake Miranda until she woke up and noticed the major relationship red flag. At least Che is kind enough to send someone else to rescue her. And just like that, Miranda learns that Che is married.
And how do you know Che?
We were married. Technically, still are.
Number 11, Che's ill-timed phone calls. Fans were split over Che and Miranda's relationship, and moments like this did not win them any new fans. In Met Cute, Miranda struggles with a new accessory to help spice up her and Che's physical relationship. And, well, when you're trying to get intimate, the last thing you probably want to hear is,
"Can we move this along? I've got a set at the Comedy Store at 9.
Or for your significant other to make a phone call. Thought that was bad? In the following episode, Che answers a call to help them get ahead in their sitcom career while Miranda is, doing the same in the bedroom.
Because the network hates new pages. Can you be here by 10?
Okay, in an hour?
Oh, 10 o'clock tonight.
We don't know how Miranda was so blasé about the interruption because we were mortified. Surely taking calls at such a time is a universal faux pas.
So weird. The writer can't seem to wrap their head around my few realism notes, but can wrap their head around Tony Danza's My Mexican Father.
Number 10, the whole Met Ball storyline. After season 1, many of us already felt that some of these characters and their stories were very out of touch. So, if the writers wanted to remedy that, we probably wouldn't have gone with the ostentatious Met Gala storyline to kick off season 2.
No, your daddy hates these kind of things.
Well, he just came home all excited about his outfit.
What outfit?
Cheerio, old chaps.
So many moments left us closing our eyes and exhaling that it was hard to pick just one offender. There's that whole kerfuffle over whether or not Anthony gets to be someone's +1.
You'll get over it. You're a man.
Says who?
Says you. You okay?
When did my life become 7th grade gym class again? Don't have fun.
How about Carrie using her Vivienne Westwood wedding dress, yes, that one, as a backup outfit for the event? And what about Charlotte and Lisa complaining about their poor privileged lives? At least Anthony was there to call them out.
Until one morning, he doesn't have his everything bagel, and then it's like, this house is falling apart.
Hey, I'm really enjoying listening to your podcast, Rich People's Problems.
Number 9, Samantha deserved better.
And where's the 4th Musketeer? Where's Samantha?
Oh, she's no longer with us.
No, she didn't die.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm so sorry, no. I just meant she's not with us.
She's in London.
After learning that Kim Cattrall wouldn't be returning, fans were intrigued to see how the show would handle Samantha's absence. Needless to say, many of us were left unimpressed with what was done in season 1.
I told her that because of, what the book business is now, it just didn't make sense for me to keep her on as a publicist. She said fine and then fired me as a friend.
She didn't fire you.
Nothing about their explanation suited the character we know at all. Like, do we really think Samantha is so fragile as to drop all her friends because of a professional interaction? Sidebar, why would Carrie need a PR rep on retainer anyway? To add insult to injury, it often feels like they're trying to make Anthony or even Seema the new Samantha.
Wait, please, there's so many more gems.
How many dating apps are you on?
How much time have you got?
And we're simply not buying it. When Willie Garson sadly passed away in September 2021, they used the moved abroad tactic to explain his absence as well.
By the time you read this, I'll be in Tokyo. I mean, who is he? The lost Bronte sister?
He said he couldn't bring himself to tell you he was leaving face to face after Big died.
Right, and a note is so much more compassionate.
The notes he leaves Carrie and Anthony felt rather reminiscent of a certain infamous cringeworthy post-it note. These characters deserved better, as did we. Number 8, Justice for Steve.
Hey, Steve-O, long time no see. What's new?
Hey, I got hearing aids. I'm an old-timer now.
No, you're not. You only have 60% hearing loss in one ear and 40% in the other.
Yeah, because I'm old.
Look, we get it, but how is it that Steve seems to have aged so much more than everyone else? Not looks-wise, but everything else. Although, granted, his hearing loss is reflective of David Eigenberg's real-life condition. But in general, Steve's portrayed as a confused and awkward shell of his former self.
You know, you got me so freaking distracted when you're yelling at me about the squash guy. I left my wallet over with a pickle guy who used to be over in that corner.
While Miranda's going through a sexual awakening and struggling with substance use disorder, he's picking chia seeds out of his teeth. That certainly doesn't sound like the witty wisecracker we remember. The writers responded to the backlash by insisting that they love Steve and his Steve-ness. We just hope that future episodes prove it.
Hey, come over you.
I'm just in the mood. It's been too long for me.
Number 7, Charlotte tries to diversify her circle.
It is unacceptable that we do not have a more diverse friendship circle, so tonight, bring your A game.
While planning a dinner party, Charlotte worries that cool mom Lisa Todd Wexley will be the only person of color there. Her solution? Forcibly try to befriend other people of color.
Maybe you and David could pop in before your dinner for drinks. You know, just pop in, say hi.
We'll do it another time.
Oh, but we always say we'll do it another time. Let's just get her done.
She hounds her poor neighbor and even asks Anthony to help her get in touch with one of his black friends. The insensitive faux pas don't end there either. Charlotte commits the first blunder at Herbert's birthday party by mistaking a guest for another black woman she knows.
Hi, Gwen. Hi. I haven't seen you since Leo transferred to Dalton.
I'm not Gwen. But I know who you're talking about.
Meanwhile, Harry overcompensates for his awkwardness by embarrassingly name-dropping black celebrities. It took all of our might not to cover our ears and hum loudly over the agonizing dialogue. Number 6, Carrie wakes up to Miranda and Che getting it on. Fans were divided over whether or not Miranda's chemistry and subsequent affair with Che felt forced. But scenes like this weren't exactly winning them any favors.
No,
no.
What are you doing? What was that in my kitchen? What is going on with you?
Che visits Carrie, who's recuperating from surgery. But since she's fast asleep, Che and Miranda share a bottle of tequila in the kitchen. And just like that, things get rather intimate.
Tell me you like it, tell me not to stop.
I like it. Oh, please, Jay. Please don't stop.
The scene is one long, continuous cringe fest. Whether it's Carrie catching her friend and boss going at it, or the accident she has when there's no one to help her to the bathroom. It's one of those scenes where you want to look away, but you simply can't.
I only took half a pill because I was so out of it yesterday. I should have taken the whole bottle so I didn't have to witness any of that.
Number 5, Charlotte tells Anthony about Rock. Sex and the City approached their LGBTQIA+ characters through a very heteronormative lens. But now they had a second chance to get it right, or so we hoped.
I don't feel like a girl.
Oh. Well,
Sometimes I don't feel like a girl either.
After Charlotte's younger child tries to come out, Charlotte attempts to explain what happened to Anthony. We were left completely aghast by his dismissive attitude and recoiled in horror as he essentially told Charlotte to ignore it.
I'm her mother. I can't ignore it.
Says who?
Everyone.
Well, everyone.
Nothing is worse than when he compares the situation to a 6-year-old kid wanting to be a dog. This could have been such a poignant moment about acceptance for Charlotte and Rock. But instead, we were left wide-eyed by this totally tone-deaf conversation.
I want to do the right thing.
And you will, when and if the time comes. And I will be there with you and Rose every step of the way. But right now, she's just a little sourdough starter. Who knows what she's gonna grow into?
Number 4, Charlotte goes from sex positive to sex annoying. We were all taken by surprise when Lily announced her intentions to get intimate with her boyfriend for the first time.
Excuse me?
I'm ready to lose my virginity.
I'm ready to lose my hearing.
And now it won't be the perfect day that I had planned.
And we applaud the show for promoting sex positivity. But come on, none of us want to hear about the stuff from our parents. We're glad Lily stopped Charlotte before we were forced to switch it off.
It is important that you take care of your own needs.
Stop. You have gone from sex positive to sex annoying.
That being said, that scene where Lily realizes she and her boyfriend don't have protection made us pinch the end of our noses and wonder if she'd perhaps cut off Charlotte's safe sex talk too soon.
I'm not about to go out in the middle of a blizzard to get you guys condoms.
Okay, never mind. Blake Googled how to pull out. We can just try that. Okay, bye.
Lily!
And who sends their mom out in a blizzard like that? Charlotte's commitment to her daughter's well-being might be the only redeeming part of this plot.
I would avoid using the warming one because you get a rush really easily down there, remember?
Cold and the snow is blowing in.
Okay.
Number 3, Miranda Hobbs, white savior. Miranda was often the forward-thinking, outspoken advocate of the group. So we guess they wanted to show that anyone can misfire when it comes to the subject of race.
Did you have to say something?
Oh, one of the important takeaways I got from how to be an anti-racist is if you see something, you have to speak on it. You have to call it out.
Well, that's very noble of you, even if a tad bit white savior complex.
Even so, that scene from her first day in class should be locked away in some vault to save us from the secondhand embarrassment.
Please just forget that I ever said anything about your hair. Hair has nothing whatsoever to do with appropriateness or intelligence or gravitas, obviously.
Pro tip, don't take a shot after every microaggression because you will not make it out of the scene conscious. But even if we ignore that scene, we'd still be left with her white savior complex. Surely Miranda understands the difference between getting annoyed at a security guard who's just asking for ID and what to do when someone's getting mugged in front of you.
I'm so sorry, are you okay? I was unclear to me whether that was a white savior moment or not.
It's very clear that these women have nothing in common, so their budding friendship feels painfully forced too. Number 2, did you hear that the show's woke now? As we've mentioned, Sex and the City had its problems.
And they're vintage.
Right. From a time when that was okay. I'm embarrassed when friends come over.
And just like that was here to prove that the series could get with the times. Only it really couldn't.
Like, oh, he, she, they, them, oh, please tell me which box to check.
Rather than focus on a couple of social issues and really do them justice, they tried to tackle a bit of everything and fell short at almost every step. As if that isn't bad enough. Much of the dialogue points at how woke the show thinks it's being.
Woke moment!
And yes, I know that no one person can represent all the genders and sexual orientations or an entire race, and I fully acknowledge that we are complicated, diverse beings.
This was a major turnoff for many fans, and had plenty of us facepalming throughout. Remember when your teacher would say show, don't tell? Well, this is why. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Carrie watches big. This is where a cutaway would have been appreciated.
Are you gonna join me?
Mm-mm. I just want to watch.
With or without my glasses?
Carrie patronizes Seema. We guess the writers missed the memo about not shaming older women with active love lives.
Good for you, Seema, trying to find yourself a man to marry after all those years of no luck.
No, that's not the way I meant it.
No, I'm sure, but that's how I heard it.
Charlotte wants her ballerina body back. We didn't realize that having an Ina waist was a requirement for working in a gallery.
I'm gonna be a gallerina again. Think about it. Ballerina, gallerina. Anything that ends in ina is teeny tiny.
Carrie's date pukes on her. We really didn't need to see that.
Oh my God. Oh,
Carrie contracts COVID. After faking it earlier, the Rona finally gets her.
And just like that, I got COVID.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Che. Just Che. Che symbolizes a lot of the show's pitfalls. Their introduction was lacking, and their entire personality is steeped in tokenism. Their awful podcast voiced the show's most combative wokeism, and it's hard to forget that stand-up special.
And just because my family loves me does not mean that they're not confused. Okay. I am like an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. They're so confused.
For a show that claims to be aware of the lack of representative non-binary characters in the media, and just like that does a pretty decent job of turning Che into a cringe-worthy caricature. They could have been such a positive force in Miranda's sexual awakening rather than just
your host and queer, non-binary, Mexican-Irish diva representing everyone else outside these two boring genders.
Then there's how they turned Miranda into the very thing she couldn't stand.
It's just one time. Anyone can have a slip. You know, even if I could get my mind around that justification, it's the cheating part. The behind my back part, the violation of the trust. That's what's killing me.
Just imagine what impact they could have had on the coming out journey of Charlotte's youngest, too. Che's character had so much potential, but their scenes are just so hard to watch.
Okay, do me a favor. Stop talking and just breathe.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.